We are now down to the final 3 races of the 2025 Turkey Hill Truck Series season, and up to this point it has been a spectacular season. We've had a lot of great moments, and we have had a very interesting championship battle with Matthew Hubert coming into these final 3 races with the points lead, but Andrew Williams is not escaping that 52's rear view mirror. He comes into this race only 17 points behind, with a lot of other guys with an outside shot on the outside, potentially looking in as we head into these final couple races of the season, which definitely can produce some pretty chaotic results as we head here to our final short track race of the season, and potentially could be our most chaotic short track race of the season, as we are here in Ridgeway, Virginia, here at the Martinsville Speedway for 63 laps of action here around the paperclip. It's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top tonight after everything is said and done, and how these points will shake up after this one. But we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out after the checkered flag flies after 63 laps here tonight, here in the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway. What's going on, everybody? Caleb here, and welcome to the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway, race 16 of the 2025 Turkey Hill Truck Series season. And like I said, we are in the end game now. Only 3 races left to go. We have a short track here tonight from Martinsville. You got Talladega next week, and then it all wraps up a couple weeks out on Christmas Day at the Homestead Miami Speedway. So I definitely think we got 3 fun races ahead of us here to close out what has been a very fun season of Turkey Hill Truck Series competition. But yeah, here at the Martinsville Speedway, we know how chaotic this track can get. The bumpers will definitely be in use here tonight. Gonna have some good old classic short track action here in Ridgeway, Virginia, but it definitely should be a lot of fun, as is usually the case here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, and it's definitely going to be exciting to see, like I said, how this race will play out and the trajectory of the championship will play out as well. And joining me alongside up here in the booth is someone who has seen how the trajectory has changed pretty much this entire season. We got Matt Tuck alongside once again. Thank you so very much for joining me up here in the booth once again. Like I mentioned, you've seen this season and how it has played out quite a bit. But we are here at the Martinsville Speedway, where things can get flipped on their head relatively easy. This could definitely be quite the chaotic race. But what are you expecting here tonight from this race here at the Martinsville Speedway? And what are you looking out for in terms of the championship as this race plays out and we head into the final 2 races of the season?
Well, I think it's gonna be a fun one here down the stretch. Obviously, you've got Williams and Hubert in a deadlock, a true deadlock, but in a very back and forth title fight here. And I mean, Duncan Ward, if things had gone a little better here for him over the past week, 2 races, I mean, boy, winning the pole here tonight would feel a lot different. But nonetheless, I think it'll should be a fun race here under the lights. And I mean, anytime I get to see 5 GRT affiliates in the top 10 starting, technically 6, technically 7, it's a good time here. So I'm sure we're in for a great race here tonight.
Should definitely be a great race here tonight from the Martinsville Speedway. And like you said, Williams and Hubert, they're pretty much locked in a fierce championship battle up there towards the front. Like I mentioned, Hubert comes into this race with a 17-point lead, so he's got a pretty sizable cushion back to the 11 of Andrew Williams, but any mistake, any falter from that 52 of Matthew Hubert, and Williams is going to be right there ready to pounce. So the pressure is on for both of the drivers to compete, and they have absolutely shown up and shown out these past couple of weeks. We've consistently seen both of those drivers fighting up towards the front, fighting for the lead as well. And like I said, neither driver has let the other get out of their front view or rear view mirrors. It has been such a fun championship battle to watch. And like I said, what a championship battle it has been in a very spectacular season of Turkey Hill Truck Series competition. But like I said, we've still got 3 more races to decide. We still got a champion to crown, and it's definitely going to be really interesting to see not only how these races will go, but how the championship plays out. And the final 3-race stretch starts here tonight under the lights here from the Martinsville Speedway. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. But really quickly, before we do get these guys rolling off here from the Martinsville Speedway. We will take a quick look here at your point standings coming into the 16th race of the season. Of course, as aforementioned, Matthew Hubert comes into this race, your points leader, with a 17-point gap back to the 11 of Andrew Williams. Looking further on down, third in points, you've got Aaron Abel. He's on the outside looking in right now, but if something does happen to both the 11 and the 52, he could definitely still protect himself up into that championship battle with a good finish. He comes in 42 points behind your points leader, Matthew Hubert. You got Blaine Keys jumping up to fourth after winning the last race out. He comes into this race 50 points behind. You got Tyler Jericho rounding out your top 5 in points, 57 back. Isaac Nichols comes in 6th, 63 back. 7th is Duncan Ward, 65 back. And like you mentioned, it's been a tough couple of weeks for Duncan Ward, which unfortunately kind of dropped him out of the championship hunt. But looking to try and potentially just turn things around here tonight. Looking for a bit of silver lining to the season. Looking to try and get a win here at the Martinsville Speedway. And we've seen that 24 dominate at these short tracks this season. We saw him dominate earlier on at IRP. Maybe we'll see him dominate here again tonight in Martinsville. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. But looking further on down the standings, you've got Nicholas Samadio coming into this race, 9th in points, 82 back. And Logan Williams currently rounds out your top 10 in points, 84 points behind Matthew Hubert. So still definitely a lot of potential shuffling to happen throughout the top 10 in points. But as of right now, it's Hubert and Williams up there fiercely battling for the championship. And it's definitely going to be really fascinating to see how they perform here tonight under the lights here of the Martinsville Speedway. But alright, I think that's just about enough yapping from me. I think it's about time we get these guys rolling here from the Martinsville Speedway. And as they do, we'll take a quick look here through your starting lineup here for tonight's 63-lap event here at the Martinsville Speedway. Starting on the pole position, you have the number 24 of Duncan Ward, starting alongside the number 72 Trad Racing Machine of Joe Rutkowski. Row number 2, we find the number 10 of Logan Williams, starting alongside the 97 of Tyler Jericho. Got Rogel Dorn there in the number 2 on the inside of row 3, starting alongside the number 11 of Andrew Williams. Row 4, it's the number 18 of Philip Torres, starting alongside the 05 of Isaac Nichols. Rounding out your top 10, we have your points leader, Matthew Hubert, starting from the inside of the number 43 of Emily Divinetti. And as these guys do get rolling off, I gotta ask you, who is your pick to go to victory lane here tonight here in the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway?
You know what? I mean, honestly, I've thought really hard about this for the past several minutes here, and I'm going to do something, just an absolutely bold and stunning pick, and I'm going to pick the runner-up truck from last season, Rogel Dorn, and I think he's going to do one spot better than Ladova Charette did, and who knows? I mean, maybe. We went 1-2 last year on my birthday weekend, so maybe, we'll do 1-2 again here tonight.
Maybe the stars will align for you once again. Rogel Dorn definitely going to be a driver to watch out for here in this race. Going to be a fun one, no doubt about that, here from the Martinsville Speedway. But here they come through turns 3 and 4. Duncan Ward, Joe Rutkowski going to lead us to the green flag. We're racing here at the paperclip. We're green flag racing here at the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway. Into 3 and 4, Duncan Ward currently leads, but to the inside, here comes the 97, Tyler Jericho. Got a great jump there on the outside of row 2. He's already looking to try and take the race lead away. Got Rogel Dorn, the 2, already trying to make some moves side by side with Logan Williams, and our 2 championship contenders are already side by side. As Hubert looking to try and power past the 11 of Andrew Williams, who's falling back a little bit on this start on the outside lane. We'll have to see if he can get down to the bottom. No, Skip Silver makes a big dive to the inside. He knows Andrew's fighting for the championship, but he's not here to play around either, as Silver powers his way past. Matthew Hubert already looking to try and make another move, this time on the 18 of Philip Torres. They continue to battle for second, as now Rutkowski gets by Duncan Ward for the second position, but Tyler Jericho with a fantastic start on the 97. He currently leads the way here in the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway.
Yeah, and this was a great start there from Jericho in the 97 to immediately get to the bottom in turn 1 and then just jump out to the lead. That 97 is fast, and it's great to see Jericho performing here. Andrew did not have a good start to this race. Hubert got the jump on him. Now we know these Durrani trucks are fast. We know these Broke Boys trucks are fast. So we'll just have to see as they settle back in. There's almost bumper to the back of Torres, but I mean, there's not a lot in between them here. So I mean, if he can keep it close, but he needs to get in front of this 52 because otherwise it's going to come down to things out of his control next week at Talladega to make up a gap, and that's not a boat you want to be in.
Yeah, definitely not. We know how just unpredictable Talladega can be, so this is definitely going to be a big weekend, especially for both Hubert and Williams, who just barely scrapes the wall off of turn number 4. It's definitely something we could see quite a bit here tonight, as it's honestly kind of a technical racetrack in its own right. Very easy to overdrive these corners. That's how we often see a lot of passes get made, as Williams falls back down to the 8th position, looking to maybe try and get back by this 11 of Philip Torres. Rogel Dorn now to the inside of Duncan Ward for the 3rd position. Rogel Dorn definitely looking fast as well here in the early stages of this race. He's going to go side by side with the 24. Ward still trying to hold on that outside, but that's just not where the grip is here at the Martinsville Speedway, and Dorn will clear for the 3rd position. Ward will hold on to 4th, though. Logan Williams trying to settle in 5th. There's Matthew Hubert in 6th, who goes wide through 1 and 2. Closing in is the 18 of Torres with the 11 of Andrew Williams right behind him. Meanwhile, it's been smooth sailing so far for the 97 of Tyler Jericho out front, but it does need to be careful because Joe Rakowski is only about a half of a second back in the 72 and looking to try and close in. Rakowski's been pretty solid on these short track races as well. Got the win at Dover. It's definitely a little bit different from Martinsville, but still, we know that 72 car is fast at these shorter racetracks, so he's definitely looking for a good run here tonight, looking to try and get to that 97 of Tyler Jericho, looking for his 2nd win of the season. Got Skep Silver in the 06 currently running in the 9th position with Aaron Abel currently rounding out your top 10 with Blaine Keys on the outside looking in here for the time being. But Duncan Ward back down to the inside of Rogel Dorn, probably overdrove turns 3 and 4 there, and Ward going to try and send it down the inside here, going into 1 and 2, and will clear for the 3rd position here for the time being. But the top 2, honestly, trying to break away right now from the rest of the field as these 2 continue to go at it for the 2nd position.
Yeah, they are absolutely fighting each other to the death here. You know, love to see the 2 fighting here. I know the season hasn't gone as good as we were hoping for him, but you know, still got 2 races to go after tonight to get back into victory lane, and then Duncan's gonna get slid up to the top side. He's got to be careful because he's got a couple of mine and Stewart's employees lined up behind him, ready to pounce and take advantage of this here. He's going to settle back in now, and up front, the 72 of Joe Rutkowski chasing down a guy who's more known for the success he's had on Joe's channel than Alex's channel, which is that's actually kind of cool to see a new face here really show out strong here. But this 97 looks really good early, and you know, I have to say, one day Triad Racing's going to find some consistency in that 72 truck. And I think they're going to be a title threat when they do, because they have some monster pace in qualifying and on some of these short ovals. And Joe Rutt obviously is fantastic at what he does, but they can't replicate it everywhere. And one day they're going to replicate it everywhere, and one day they're going to win a championship. That's my bold take. Anyways, carry on.
Triad Racing definitely has a very strong camp there in
Nathan Stapleton and
Rutkowski, and This temper's starting to boil over back here for the 3rd position. They continue to swap places, and Ward has just about had enough of it. He puts the bumper to the 2 of Rogel Dorn, the chrome horn for the 24, and he will take 3rd position back, but Rogel Dorn is right there in his mirrors, and he's probably not too happy about that. Dorn's going to slip wide, or Ward's going to slip wide. Dorn trying to get back down to the inside. He might have an opportunity here into 3 and 4. And we're going to slip up once again. He's going to get to the inside. He's trying to keep it clean here for now, but we'll see what Rogel does here into 1. He does! He does! Dorn back to the bumper of the 24. And he's going to pay him right back.
As he should.
Dorn's finally going to clear for the 3rd position, and this is drawing Logan and Hubert in as well. looking to try and make this a four-way battle for the third position. Andrew Williams behind these guys is getting past Philip Torres for the 7th position, and meanwhile, Hubert is trying to get by the 10 of Logan Williams, of course, the teammate to Andrew Williams, and probably not looking to let that 52 by so easily. You'll have to see how this battle ends up shaking out, but this has been a fantastic battle between Dorn and Ward. We have a car around.
No.
That's a 70 of Matthew Burnett.
No.
And Eric Monaco as well, potentially getting caught up in it. And I do believe caution flag is out for the first time here tonight here at the Martinsville Speedway.
Well, that was getting fun.
Like a couple cars got slowed up by that. Laura Chung in the 83 has a bit of damage. Eric Monaco and, of course, Matthew Burnett we saw sideways on the backstretch. Everyone's going to come down here on lap number 22. Of course, the pit window about 42 to 46 laps. So they should be able to make it to the end from here. So this could be a pretty big pit cycle for all these guys. We'll have to see how where everybody does end up shaking out. But yeah, that was a crazy battle going on there for the third position. We are really seeing those short track tempers, especially there in the 2 of Rogaldorn and the 24 of Duncan Ward. We'll have to see how these pit stops cycle out. Looking at the 97 of Tyler Jericho, who led them back to the caution flag. Looks like it will be 4 tires and filling it up with fuel for everybody as the 97 is away. So Rutkowski a bit slow on the release, and Rogaldorn is up into the 2nd position in that number 2. Duncan Ward did not have a good stop in the 24. He lost a couple positions to Logan Williams, and notably, I do believe, as well as the 52 of Matthew Hubert. So a couple shakeups here under the pit cycle. And need to be careful not to go a lap down here as the pace truck goes through turns 1 and 2. We might have a couple trucks end up going a lap down here. And yeah, Isaac Nichols in the 05, Troxel, Alfred, and Igor Barreto. A couple of others had a bit of a slow stop, and that might trap them a lap down. Oh boy.
Oh boy. I'm sure this top 3 will get along greatly on the restart.
We'll have to see how well these guys get along here on this upcoming restart, but it has been a fantastic start to tonight's race here in the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway. Under our first caution, let's go take a look at what brought out the caution, and we'll get you all back to the restart here in the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway. Well, taking a look here in slow motion, going to see the 70 of Matthew Burnett try to get by the 88 of Eric Monaco. And off of turn number 2, Burnett is going to clear momentarily, but Monaco actually gets a good drive off the top. Burnett's going to try to clear him, but they just end up making contact, and Burnett is going to go around off of the front bumper of the 88 of Eric Monaco. It's going to cause a bit of a jam up here down the backstretch as everybody tries to move out of the way, including our race leaders of Tyler Jericho and Joe Rutkowski having to take evasive maneuvers. But tough break there for the 70 of Matthew Burnett, who is going to be, because of our first caution of the night, in the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway. But we'll really quickly take one more look here at full speed, and we'll get you all back to the racing action here in the Old Dominion 250 here from the Martinsville Speedway. Watching in full speed here from the back straightaway. That and Monaco just cross paths there off of turn number 2 and get together. Unfortunate break there for both those drivers that is going to put both of them a lap down, along with the 83 of Laura Chung, who got put a lap down coming to the caution flag. But those 3 will be the only 3 a lap down, as everybody else that got caught up in the pit lane will get a wave around, since that was kind of out of their control, since the Martinsville pit lane can just be like that sometimes. But Tyler Jericho in the 97 led the field off of the pit lane, and he will be leading the field back to the restart here in the Old Dominion 250 here from the Martinsville Speedway. Welcome back to the Old Dominion 250 here from the Martinsville Speedway, wrapping up. There's been a lengthy first caution to this race course. Had that drum on pit road, but everybody who did have to wait on the pit road did get waved around back to the lead lap. Of course, Laura Chung, Monaco, and Burnett were involved in that accident, so they fortunately will stay a lap down. But coming back to the green here on lap number 29, it's going to be Tyler Jericho out in front, Rogel Dorn second, Rutkowski third, Logan Williams fourth, Hubert fifth, Ward sixth, seventh is Andrew Williams, Philip Torres in eighth, Abel in ninth. DiBenetti rounds out your top 10. You got to be careful here on these restarts. Aaron Abel should be good there in the 25. Of course, you don't want to pass the car ahead of you before you get to the start-finish line. We're already going three wide on this restart. Keys to the inside of Silver and Finn Guy. They make a bit of contact here going down the back straightaway. Into 3 and 4, they stay 3 wide. Blaine will clear, and they're going to get out of it here for the time being. And Blaine's going to try and send it down the inside as well as the 18 of Philip Torres. He is on the move here on this restart. Tyler Jericho got away well in the 97. He's trying to pull away from Dorn with the lead. Rutkowski in third. Hubert in the 52 is up into fourth. And we got a battle heating up for sixth as Williams gives the Kroner to Duncan Ward. He shoves him up the racetrack. He knows the situation that he's in. He needs to finish better than the 52 of Matthew Hubert. And he's trying to move that 24 out of the way, looking to get up into the 6th position. Oh, Emily DiBenetti hard to the outside wall off of turn 4. Aaron Abel's going to get through in the 25. O'Keefe thought about trying to get to the inside of the 43, but Skip Silver was already there. Oh, and Andrew Miller hits the wall and he's getting spun!
Oh, there he goes!
And the caution is back out here at the Martinsville Speedway. Jericho will lead him back once again with Rogel second, Rutkowski third, Hebert fourth, and Logan Williams rounds out your top 5. Unfortunate break there, though, for Andrew Miller. Got into the outside wall off of turn 2 and ping-ponged down the racetrack and got spun down the back straightaway. Does look like everybody will be good to the end. Looks like nobody going to be coming down the pit lane unless the 42 of Andrew Miller decides to pit to repair any damage. But my goodness, it's been a chaotic race tonight here from Martinsville Speedway, no doubt about that.
I thought Duncan Ward was going to get pile driven there by Andrew Williams. And something to note too, the Renegade Racing boys are very much in a constructors title fight, which I think even though neither of them is going to win the driver's chip, shout out Angel Gutierrez. That's a unbelievable surprise that I think with 4 GRT affiliated teams and a bazillion drivers, I didn't have these guys as the big challenger, but it's them and Broke Boys and Velocistar in a PDE in a very wild constructors race that is almost, if not better, than the drivers championship. So keep an eye on those guys on the restart, because if they get jumped again, that's actually quite seismic.
Definitely, that's definitely something nice to highlight there. The Owners Championship has been getting really good over on that side of things. Like you mentioned, Gutierrez, Broke Boys Garage, and your team over there at Celsius Team Velocity in an absolute brawl right now for that championship. So that'll definitely be a lot of fun to watch throughout these final couple races as well. But you're under caution here for the second time tonight here at the Martinsville Speedway. Let's take a quick look at what brought out our second caution of the night, and we'll get you all back to the restart here in the Old Dominion 250 from the Martinsville Speedway. Well, we pretty much saw this happen live, but taking a look here once again in slow motion, the 42, Andrew Miller, just sent it in a little too much on exit of turn number 2. He's going to wash up into the outside wall and is going to ping-pong down into the 83 of Laura Chung, and Miller is going to get spun down the back straightaway here off of the front bumper of the 83 of Laura Chung, and is going to slap the inside wall there down the back stretch. A really tough break there for that Mahindra Motorsports Toyota of Andrew Miller. And already here under our second caution of the night here in the Old Dominion 250 here from the Martinsville Speedway. But we'll take one more look here at full speed, and then we'll get you all back to the racing action here in the Old Dominion 250 here from the Martinsville Speedway. Back at it with the full speed, and once again from the backstretch camera, just slaps the outside wall, ricochets down into Chung, gets spun, and slaps the inside wall there down the back straightaway here from the Martinsville Speedway. Overall, just once again, a really tough break there for the 42 of Andrew Miller. And going to tap the wall there once again off of turn number 4, coming back to the caution flag. A really tough break there once again for the 42 of Andrew Miller. And our second caution of the night here in the Old Dominion 250 here from Martinsville Speedway. But Jericho going to lead us back to the green flag once again. He has had a very fast car here so far here tonight. Have to see if he can hold on here for another restart here at the Old Dominion 250 from the Martinsville Speedway. Welcome back once again here to the Old Dominion 250 here from the Martinsville Speedway. Wrapping up our second caution of the night for Andrew Miller, going for a spin down the back straightaway. Of course, he is still in the race and on the lead lap as well. But going to be coming back to the green flag here on lap number 38. It's going to be Tyler Jericho still out in the race lead with Rogaldorn in second, Rakowski in third. Fourth is Matthew Hubert. Fifth and sixth is the Williams brothers, Logan and Andrew respectively. We got the Renegade Gutierrez trucks of Ward and Abel with Skip Silver ninth and Debonetti rounding out your top 10. As Jericho leads the field back to the green flag, we're back racing here at the Martinsville Speedway. A look through the field, looks like we should be good, at least up here towards the front. Rutkowski goes wide through 1 and 2, overshot the corner. Here comes the 52. Hubert looking to try and take that third position away. Logan looking to follow suit, and Ward got underneath the 11 of Andrew Williams there on that start, so Ward up into 6th. Andrew falls to 7th and might fall to 8th as Abel sends one down the inside. Logan Williams also looking to get by that 72 of Joe Rutkowski. Got a lot of side-by-side battles here on this restart, especially here at the front of this field. Logan will clear Rutkowski for the 4th position, and Abel will clear Williams there for 7th. Ward back down to the inside of Rutkowski, looking to take that 5th spot away. And meanwhile, while all this is going on, you still got Tyler Jericho leading the way. That 97 has been strong all night long, and he's been really good on these restarts too, which is great there for that 97 Heartland Enterprises Toyota. He currently still leads the way here from Martinsville, but Rogaldorn trying to stick with him, and Matthew Hubert in the 52. He's up into the 3rd position, and Williams continues to slip backwards. And that 11, he's now fallen to the 9th position as Blaine Key's looking to try and get by him. Here comes the 57. How about Carson Miller looking to try and make his way up here inside of the top 10 as he tries to get to the inside of the 06 at Skip Silver. Rutkowski wide once again, could open the door for the number 25 of Aaron Abel. And further on back to the field here, Laura Chung into the outside wall in that 83. Keeping it orderly here for the time being. Skip Silver gets the outside wall off of turn at number 4, loses some ground to the 57 of Carson Miller. And the caution is back out once again. We have a stack up on the front stretch. Eric Monaco and a couple others might have been involved as well. And what has been a chaotic race here tonight. I don't know what happened there off of turn number 4. Jericho barely led at the line, but Hubert is up into 2nd. And Rogaldorn is down to 3rd as we got a couple around here under caution. That's Stapleton going sideways. Oh, look, he got any damage from that. We also saw Charette a bit lopsided there in the 14. I don't know exactly what happened there through turn 3 and 4, but Dorn's now down to 3rd, and Hubert's now up to 2nd. And like I said, Jericho barely nabbed the 52 there across the line. Definitely might have to go back and take a look at that after everything is said and done. But under our 3rd caution of the night here, the Old Dominion 250 here from the Martinsville Speedway, it has been a very chaotic night here in Ridgeway, Virginia. That is, boy, this has definitely been a race.
It's been a race. I don't know what just happened here. I guess everybody decided they wanted to go beefing, but Tyler Jericho's got some stiff company now behind him because this 52 Matthew Huber is flying through the field. And, you know, I don't know if everybody remembers, but I remember, you know, I actually went 1-2 here at this track earlier in the year also. And this guy here in the 52 is on the losing end of it, so I think he wants some redemption from April.
Yeah, definitely Hubert with a chip on his shoulder here at this racetrack. Barely got edged out for the win of the Wawa Cup Series by Daniel Paulus Jr. here earlier on in the year. Looking to try and do one better here tonight in the Old Dominion 250 here from the Martinsville Speedway, but Tyler Jericho in the 97, he has looked strong all night long. We know he has a good truck. But like I said, on the opposite end of that, we got the points leader right behind him, 52 of Matthew Hubert. We know he's got a strong truck as well. This is definitely shaping up to be a very interesting restart. There is no doubt about that. But let's take a quick look at what brought out our third caution of the night, and we'll get you all back to the racing action here in the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway. Well, under our third caution of the night here at the Martinsville Speedway, and once again, the outside wall pays dividends, but this time off of turn number 4 as Avery Alford overshoots the exit of the corner, slaps the outside wall, comes down into the 88 of Eric Monaco, and they both go around here down the front straightaway. Isaac Nichols in the 05 barely scrapes by, but then this causes quite a bit of a stack up as Jesse Turner piles in a little bit there, has nowhere to go, gets a piece of it. So does the 58 of David Dixon. Ryan Webb and LJ Smith. It does look like those guys get wound up without any scratches, but fortunate break there, especially for Avery Alford and Eric Monaco as they get together off of turn number 4 for our third caution of the night here at the Martinsville Speedway. But we'll take one more quick replay here at full speed, and then we'll take a look at what in the world happened coming to the back to the caution flag for our race leaders. So taking one more glance here at full speed. Once again, Alford just overdrives the exit of 4 a little bit and ping-pongs into the 88 of Eric Monaco, and like I said, just a jam up here down the front straightaway as everybody scrambles. And some guys just have nowhere to go, unfortunately. So a tough break there for everybody involved. But that's sometimes just the way the short track racing goes. And it's been a pretty chaotic race here tonight from the Martinsville Speedway. But I have to see how it all ends up shaking out for the remainder of the race. We'll have to see how it ends up going down. But really quickly, had a lot of shakeups up here towards the front of the field. Matthew Huber got up to second in the 52 and almost beat Jericho even to the line. Let's take a quick look at what happened to cause that. Focusing in here on the 94, Tyler Jericho, and quite a bizarre instance as him and Rogo Dorn just decide to pull a Chastain through 3 and 4. I don't know if that was potentially something revolving around the panic line with the wreck on the front straightaway, or if they both just overshot the corner really bad, but both Jericho and Dorn go for a bit of wall riding through turns 3 and 4. Luckily, it doesn't look like the trucks suffered too much damage from that, as we also see a replay there of Stapleton and Charette kind of getting lopsided there down the backstretch as everybody tries to get bunched back together. But fortunately, that is going to cost Rogel-Dorn a spot, but for Jericho, it does seem like no harm, no foul, and he will be your race leader as we head back to the restart. He's done a great job on these restarts here tonight. I have to see if he can survive another one now with the 52 of Matthew Hubert in his mirror. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out here on the restart from the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway. And welcome back once again here to the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway. Coming back from our third caution of the night. What a chaotic race it has been, but starting to get into the closing stages now of this race. Going to be going back green here on lap number 49. Definitely shaping up to be a very interesting finish to this race. But coming into 3 and 4, Tyler Jericho is your race leader. Matthew Hubert is second. Dorn is third. Logan Williams fourth. And Joe Rakowski rounds out your top 5. See if the 97 can fire off once again here on this restart. We're back green flag racing here in the Old Dominion 250. And another good restart there from the 97 of Tyler Jericho. We'll see if he can hold on to it here throughout this lap. He had a good 1 and 2 there. Logan Williams slipped wide in the number 10. Ward slipped a bit wide in the 24, but holds on. Same for the 1 of Keys, but Andrew Williams sends one down the inside. So does Abel on his teammate Duncan Ward. Back here up towards the front. Hubert, he's not going to let that 97 get away, and wide he goes through 1 and 2. Hubert's closing up to the back bumper with the number 97. Oh, Jericho a bit wide once again. That 52 is rolling the inside and closing up a couple of cars down the pit lane. Potentially maybe for restart violation and bump, so a tough break there for all of those guys, but Jericho's usually been able to pull away here on these restarts, but this time he's got a mirror full of the 52 of Matthew Hubert.
Yeah, Hubert's just sticking with him. A little slide up the hill there for the moment. One thing you don't need to do here, though, if you're Matthew Hubert, right now you're gaining a nice little bit on Andrew Williams and probably heading to Dega with at least a 25-point lead. You know, you don't want to throw it away here and do something dumb. But also, if you get a win here, you're going to be pushing into the territory of if something bad happens to Andrew Williams next week and nothing bad happens to you, I mean, he could win his championship a week early if, lands his punches right here. But this is a great run for him. A fantastic second half. Oh, you can't do that.
In the wall.
You can't park
here
it there.
Comes Hubert.
Oh, here he comes.
And a dive to the inside. We're side by side for the lead.
Oh my goodness, the way this just changed on its head.
Jericho was pulling away, but that one mistake is going to cost him dearly as now Hubert's to the inside. They're still side by side up here for the race lead. Hubert going to send it down the inside once again. Jericho actually holding really strong on that outside lane. They're still side by side down the backstretch.
Now Rogel's going to be in here, so somebody's going to slip up and make a mistake here, and Rogel Dorn's going to get a shot to pounce.
Jericho still trying to stay at that quarter panel, but Hubert with the drive off on the inside is going to clear. Jericho's going to stay in second. He stayed clear of the two of Rogel Dorn, seeing if he can maybe cross Hubert over. He's going to do just that. Jericho back down to the inside. Side by side once again through 1 and 2. Rogel Dorn looking to try and make a move to the inside. Couldn't quite get the momentum there off of turn number 2. Hubert trying to stay with the 97. They might cross over again.
Goodness. Again.
Oh, Jericho's in the wall again. And Hubert trying to pull away with the lead. Dorn to the inside of Jericho for the second position. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, that was not a good sequence from Tyler Jericho. It looked like the race was in his bag, and then he just said, I'm gonna park it in the outside wall off of turn 4.
Rakowski's blown up! What? Rakowski with an engine failure. We're just a couple laps to go in the race.
Oh my... What?
It's all flipping on its head in the late stages here at Martinsville. We've got 4 laps to go. Jericho back down to the inside for the second position. But Matthew Hubert almost has a 1-second lead. He's looking to check out in that 52, but he does need to be careful. 97 to Tyler Jericho. If that 52 does make a mistake, Jericho can close back in. He's already trying to close back in. That is such a tough break for the 72 of Joe Rakowski from the 3rd position. My goodness. We're coming to 2 laps to go, though, here from Martinsville. Hubert still holds on to the race lead. Jericho trying everything he can do to close in. Andrew Williams right now running in the 6th position. Still a good run, but not what he needs. With that 52 of Hubert running out in the race lead. They're coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here from Martinsville. You got the 73 of Semedo up the road, and Jericho is trying to close in quickly. It's going to come down to 3 and 4. Can Hubert finally nab the win that got away from him earlier on in the year? It's going to be a clean 3 and 4 for Matthew Hubert, and his 2nd win of the season is going to come here in the Old Dominion 250 here at the Martinsville Speedway. Matthew Hubert is finally a winner here at the Martinsville Speedway, and he gets it done in a pivotal point of the season.
Yeah, what a time to lock in here for Matthew Huber late in the season. Andrew Williams is stepping up to beef with Tyler Jericho. Matthew Huber is stepping up to win the races when it matters the most. No diss, I love all these guys. But this is a great win for Matthew Huber, and you gotta give credit to Durrani Racing. He's done a great job. I know Finn Guy didn't have a great day, but he's still top 20 every week, and they've got fast trucks. And Tyler Jericho and Heartland, I don't know what you do after that one. I mean, had it in the bag, he put it in the wall. I mean, he tried to fight for it back, but just didn't have it there. Rogaldorn rounds out the podium, but what a race here! For a race that was dominated by Tyler Jericho. I mean, it did not feel like it was a race that somebody was dominating. I mean, it was an unbelievable amount of chaos here.
Indeed, what a wild race here under the lights here from the Martinsville Speedway here in the Old Dominion 250. Definitely got a feel there for the 97. Tyler Jericho dominated this race and just put it on the wall there and lost the lead of the 52 of Matthew Hubert. And Jericho did have a decent rally there towards the end, managed to close in, but unfortunately just wasn't quite enough there for the 97 of Jericho. But definitely have to give props to the 52 of Matthew Hubert. Like I said, finally got redemption for that win that got away from him in the Cup Series earlier on this year. And like I said, in a very pivotal point of the season, gets the win and going to gain quite a couple points there to the 11 of Andrew Williams, who, like I said, still had a good day coming home in the 6th position. But that's going to put Hubert in a pretty solid place going into the next race at Talladega, where we know how chaotic that track can be. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how all of that shakes out. But man, yeah, once again, what a race here tonight from the Martinsville Speedway. And taking a look here through your official results, of course, you got Matthew Hubert going to victory lane for the 2nd time this season. Tyler Jericho is still coming home with a 2nd place finish. Rogaldorn with a great run rounds out your podium. Got Logan Williams bringing it home in 4th. Aaron Abel rounding out your top 5. Andrew Williams comes home in 6th. How about Diminetti coming home there with a 7th place finish? You got Duncan Ward 8th. Ludovic Charette 9th. And Blaine Keys will round out your top 10. But that was certainly had a lot going on here tonight in the Old Dominion 250, but when the lights shine the brightest, Matthew Hubert certainly stepped up to play. He naps his 2nd win of the season and will extend his championship lead going into the next race of the season, which will be the Talladega Superspeedway. That's, like I said, definitely going to be quite the unpredictable race. Matt, how do you think that race is going to play out? And I don't know, how are you just expecting these last 2 races as a whole to go for all these drivers, and especially our championship contenders?
You know, what an interesting time of the year. Everybody's favorite, Talladega Superspeedway. The inexplainable happened earlier in the year, and David Dixon, it looked like he had Dale Jr.'s 2006 Busch Series car out there. So, I think Talladega could be, quite fun because, we could get somewhere from Dale Jr., a Dale Jr.-esque performance out of David Dixon. Or if it's not that, I have no idea who's going to even be fast if it's not the OSC guys. So, it'll be interesting. The stakes will be very high because if Huber has a bad day and Williams doesn't, the door blows wide open, and vice versa. If Williams has a bad day and Huber does it, the door is closed. So it'll be a fun one. But, yeah, I mean, the way the season's going, I expect nothing less than absolute chaos next week, and we will be there.
We will absolutely be seated here for these final couple races of the season. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're in for 2 more fantastic races to what has been a fantastic season here of Turkey Hill Truck Series competition. Like I said, we'll just have to wait and see how it'll all shake out. But festivities from the Talladega Superspeedway will be starting next Saturday, December 13th at noon Eastern Time. Definitely hope to see you all there. The Cookout 250 at the Talladega Superspeedway, that definitely ought to be a very, very fun. But of course, you got the Talladega Superspeedway next Saturday, December 13th at noon, and then we close off the season on Christmas Day just a couple weeks from now from the Homestead Miami Speedway. Definitely looking forward to see how it all shakes out, but definitely excited to see how it will end up playing out. But thank you all so much for tuning in to tonight's coverage here of the Old Dominion 250 here from the Martinsville Speedway. A huge congratulations to the 52 of Matthew Huber and Ronnie Racing, and a huge thanks to Matt Tuck for joining me alongside once again up here in the booth, and I will see you all next time out at the Cookout 250 at Talladega next Saturday, December 13th at noon Eastern Time. But until then, you all take care and have yourselves a good one. Here's your point standings after race number 16 of the season.